Let me turn you down. Let me fix my bracelet. Oh, that's Bobby. Sit down. Sit down. I might feel like dealing with you today. Don't do it. Don't do it, boo-boo. Don't. 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 Don't do it. Here's my. Hey, beautiful magic. Hey, Shamar. How y'all doing? That's not it. That is not it. My cousin's singing in the garage. Like, if you don't stop singing. Hey, Moth Mama. And Moth Mama is a member. KK is a member. And for those of you that don't know, K is my right hand. Okay? KK is my right hand person. So, if she is answering questions in the chat, she has been given that authority. So, y'all better treat her like you treat me. Well, you better treat everybody like you treat me. But K is the Ayubona. And the Ayubona is the person that helps the mama. Okay? So, I want y'all to treat her with the same respect that you treat me. And K, I saw your email, but I had forgot that you said you were going to email me, right? And I had already got in the bed by the time I, was checking my emails, and I just couldn't get out the bed because I had got so comfortable to try to figure out if that was the same ones that I purchased or not. But I'm gonna do a video and show all of the ones that I have so we can, so I can see if we're on the same page, because I still haven't, I still didn't even go in there and look at them. So I still can't tell you if it's the same ones that I use or what's going on in that situation. Now, the reason why, what is going on here? The reason why I picked, okay, I just went to point. Okay. The reason why I picked the topic today is because of an article that I saw on the Shade Room, where a young man, it said that he's a Christian rapper, so he is Black, and a white minister were having a sit-down conversation. I don't know if this was on TBN, because that is what it sounds. He sound like one of them white TBN ministers. But let me pull one of these cards to just start off the broadcast. And this is from the Starseed Oracle, because today, when I was getting ready to come online, and I was moving my stuff over so it was close to me, all of the top came off of these cards and they fell out. So everything that happens now, I'm really looking at it as, spirit speaking to me. And it's not very often that I use these cards. They are somewhat new. So we are just going to, pull a card from the deck just to get an idea as to. I'm gonna tell you who it was in a minute, because I'm gonna play the video so you guys can hear it. So I think I'm gonna start like just pulling a card when I start uh, these lives, just to kind of see what is, what's kind of swirling around. So this is what came up, and it says, Inner Earth, you'll survive this. New solutions and beginnings. You can see how peaceful that card looks. It's very serene looking. It's like a greenery, and then you can see the water and like a hilly area off in the distance. Just very serene looking. But you'll survive this. New solutions and beginnings. And I think that's where we are right now. And it's great that we would get that, because it's spirit allowing us to, or telling us that, okay, I'm trying to fix. Oh, I hate that this camera is the opposite. Whatever. It's spirit letting us know that no matter what happens, we're going to survive. But haven't we always? Every situation that has been thrown at us, we have survived. And we will survive this also. Okay? Maybe we will come up with some new solutions. Maybe this is a new beginning. Maybe this 2020, because we're going to really look back on 2020 and be like, this is one year that boo boo hit the fan, just from every direction. Like, how you go to the zoo and it's only the monkeys throwing boo boo? Like, the monkeys is the only animals that really be out here wilding out throwing boo boo. So we in the zoo and all the animals are throwing boo boo, not just the monkeys. Because, see, you can go to the zoo and literally avoid the monkeys because they throw shit. But now the zebras throwing shit, the parrots throwing shit, everybody out here, just, everywhere we go, there's shit flying everywhere. 2020 has been a shitstorm, literally. And we're going to look back on this year and be like, yeah. But you know what? If we can survive this, if we can walk out of 2020 unscathed, it should show us that we can survive anything. Because we didn't have a whole pandemic and a race war in 1 year. And we only halfway through the year. A whole pandemic. So if we can survive this, you make it to 2021, you ought to look back and say, you know what? I can do anything. There's nothing that I cannot do. I done survived a whole pandemic and a whole race war. Even though that part ain't over. I think Rona gone for now. She done found her somebody else too. She gonna play with other people. Rona gone. We ain't gotta worry about her right now. But we still do have to worry about racism. 2020 has been a literal shitstorm, and it's only halfway done. So let me find um let me find this. Okay, here it is. So, wait. I want you guys to listen to the first part so you can hear what he said first. And then I'm going to turn it up.
The cross, but we don't love to sit in it and realize this is what God's asking me to do, to die to myself and to live for him, whatever context that's going to look like for me. But I want to flip that upside down, because I think the other side of it is true with our nation's history. We understand the curse that was slavery. White people do, and we say that was bad, but we miss the blessing of slavery, that it actually built up the framework for the world that white people live in. Yes. And lived in. And so a lot of people call this white privilege, and when you say those two words, it just is like a fuse goes off for a lot of white people, because they don't want
the blessing in slavery. This white minister sitting here with a black man said, we don't realize the blessing in slavery. How the slaves blessed us with their work so that us white folks could maintain our privilege. And we had a black man sit there and say, yes, sir. You sure is right. You sure is right. Yes, sir. Now, I want to know, because I'm going to let you listen to what the black young man, after they clowned the dog boo-boo out of him on Twitter, I want y'all to listen to what he said. Because, yes, they did. You know how Twitter is. Twitter will get you together in a New York minute. I don't know if this young man, because he is a up-and-coming young Christian rapper, that he felt like he had to sit there on camera and take that situation. I don't know why he felt that. I don't know why he thought he had to do. You thought? I don't know why he thought he had to sit there and let Massa tell him that slavery was a black. Honey, when I got off that white man's ass, they would have cut that broadcast off. They'd have been like, who brought this little old black lady up in here? Y'all know these black people crazy. What y'all bring her in here for? I'd have been on him. See, that's why the Lord don't let me even be in situations like that. Because Jesus would have had to come. The FCC would have probably turned the broadcast off. Jesus himself would have had to come down. Rapture. I'm talking rapture situation for me to shut up. I'd have woe his ass out. Do you hear me? So this is his apology.
For the use of the phrase on Sunday, white blessing. And I extend that apology today to every single person who is listening to me right now. But most importantly, I extend that apology to my black brothers and sisters.
To who?
I, like so many, am so burdened about what is happening in our nation right now. And I'm heartbroken about where we are as a nation. And one of the things that I'm most heartbroken is trying.
White people, I told y'all the other day, Just shut up. Shut up. Because when you get on here talking about white privilege, 9 times out of 10, you're going to put your foot in your mouth. And you're going to be looking like this dumb idiot. Okay? Slavery was not, it was a blessing. It was a blessing from the Lord to have y'all come and do all the work that we didn't want to do. I was blessed to put my feet up and watch you pick cotton from sun up to sundown. Oh, yes, it was a blessing. Because I didn't have to do it. You know, in you ignorant black people who get on here and say, well, slavery was so long ago. I'm 55 years old. I am the daughter of a woman whose father was a sharecropper. So they were basically 1 or 2 generations from slavery. And I'm 55. Let that fucking sink in. So slavery wasn't that long ago. Okay? I was born in the 60s. My mother was born in 1917 on a plantation. They weren't slaves, but they were still living there because they were super poor. They couldn't go no place else. So they were still picking cotton. They were still picking tobacco, they worked the cotton fields and the tobacco fields. They grew watermelons, they grew potatoes, everything that would grow on the land that they had, they grew it and they sold it. My mother went to school to the 6th grade. That was it. After that, you grown. You get out in the field with them grown folks and you start working. Either you doing that or you helping take care of the smaller kids while the parents are out in the field. So slavery wasn't that long ago, sweethearts. White people, we're not going to forget about slavery because there's still people here like myself who've heard so many stories and have so much pain and trauma around slavery. I'm not about to forget nothing. I'm not going to forget that my mother had her baby in the cotton field and that baby died. I'm not going to forget that. I'm not going to forget that they wouldn't even allow my mother to go to the hospital to have a baby. She had her baby in the cotton field and that baby died. You think I'm going to forget that? I'm not. I'm not going to forget the fact that she couldn't even go to a hospital after she had her baby in the cotton field. They took her home and obviously they didn't do whatever, was supposed to be done on the inside. And so she didn't heal up properly. And she had to end up having a hysterectomy later on in life. I'm not going to forget that. I'm not going to forget that y'all wouldn't even let us go to the hospital. I'm not going to forget that. Ever. I'm not. You can't pay reparations. You can't even pay me to forget that. You're not going to be able to. So if you think that the reparations is hush money, then you need to keep that. Because you going to give me reparations and I'm going to still talk shit. I just want you to know that. So the young black guy, he apologized. His apology was ignorant. I'm not even going to play it. And then the white minister, of course, came on with his, the Lord, I just want to love you black people. I'm just trying to figure out how to love y'all. No, you're not. You got caught. You got caught in your white supremacy. That's how you really feel about black people. We were a blessing from God to be slaves to do all of the work that you didn't want to do. Hold on, y'all. So, in that conversation, the conversation of Christianity came up. Someone in the comments section on the Shade Room said that, oh, black people had Christianity first until the Europeans stole it. This article is not helpful. Okay, so I'm looking at Google. So it says, what religions existed before Christianity? The abandoned texts were composed containing the earliest emergence of some of the central religious concept of Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism. The Greek Dark Age began. The Olmecs built the earliest pyramids and temples in Central America. Christianity is one of the youngest religions. Everybody had organized religion before y'all Europeans, because y'all was still out here clanking rocks together. Okay? In building idol gods made out of gold and all kind of stuff. Y'all didn't know what y'all was doing. Y'all didn't know what you wanted to do. You had no, Europeans had no idea. And then they came along after all of these other religions were established, including the Muslims. Their religion had already been established. And here they come with Christianity, wanting everybody in the world then to join their movement. Okay, well, I can't get everybody to join, but I'm going to make these black people do it. We're going to turn them into slaves and we're going to force them to be Christians. Ain't no way in the world they can come to the new world with that prehistoric religion. You think we didn't already have a religion? We was already Christian. So we was already believing in a blonde-haired, blue-eyed Jesus in Africa? When they didn't see no white people till y'all brought y'all asses over there? That's what y'all out here believing. Go right ahead. I mean, it just shows the ignorance of people. Islam, thank you. I'm saying Muslim, but it's y'all know what I mean when I say Muslim. I mean Islam. Christianity came after all of these other religions were established. I think Christianity even came after Catholicism. Even the Catholics was doing their own thing before Christianity. Well, we know Jesus wasn't blind, child. We know that. But I mean, that's who they put up front. because that represents them. Of course, they're not. And see, this my thing. This here you go right here. This it right there. You can't go in now one white church and they have a black Jesus. Not one. You ain't gonna never go in a white church and they have a black Jesus on their wall. But you go in these black churches, huh? If it's just, they're just using that as an image, well, let's use the black image. Pray to black Jesus. Do what? Pray to black Jesus. But y'all do it. And don't find nothing wrong with it. Why they can't do it? We have assimilated we have turned everything over to them. Our whole entire lives. The way we look, we try to emulate their standards of beauty. We straighten our hair. We afraid to, wear our natural hair. We buy these, blonde wigs. We wear contact lenses, everything attempting to assimilate to a European standard. And then we go and worship their God. And they knew it. They knew once we separate them from their true religion, it breaks that power structure. We don't have any power in Christianity because it wasn't meant for us. How do you call on the God of your oppressor and expect him to hear you? Kay said there was a picture of black Jesus at the church in Georgia for my grandmother's homegoing in 2019. I don't go to church anymore, but I've never ever seen a pic. Huh? The who? Oh, okay. Okay, I'll send him a message. Hold on, y'all. Yeah, I've never seen that at any church that I've ever been to. I've never seen anything but what we're used to. The blonde hair, blue eyes, on the cross. They always want to, remind us. It's the reminder of his death always. And I used to wonder as a kid, like, why is everybody so fixated on the death of Christ? Like, didn't he do some good things while he was alive? Like, why couldn't we be fixated on the things that he did while he was alive? But it's his death. that everybody, that the church has always been fixated on. But this whole religion thing, I've always said it's bondage. It's bondage. But there is no picture. There is no black Jesus. You know what I mean? That doesn't exist. The pictures of Jesus that are on the majority of paintings and that they use for church is some artist's son. There is no picture of Christ. That was an artist's rendition. There was no cell phones and cameras and everything back there. So they used an artist, used his son because he, I guess they thought he was good looking or, whatever, or fit the standard for what they wanted Jesus to look like. So it ain't no black Jesus, ain't no white Jesus, ain't no brown Jesus, ain't no green Jesus. That's a ruse. You've been hoodwinked. That's just a picture. Okay. Marius said art was used as a tool of communication when people were more illiterate. People couldn't read, so of course they needed pictures. And they felt like that person would be a good fit, a good marketing tool, a marketing representation for Jesus. And we bought into that, believing that was really him. That ain't him. That wasn't even him. But that's just like the Bible. It has been translated. Books have been taken out. It's been translated in so many different languages. Written by so many different people. Only holy men wrote the Bible. Really? According to both Jewish and Christian dogma, the books of Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy, the first 5 books of the Bible, and the entirety of the Torah were all written by Moses in about 13 BC. There are few issues with this, however, such as the lack of evidence that Moses ever existed. Oh my gosh. But see, we go into this with the belief that it has to be right. What people are telling us has to be right. It has to be true. It has to be real because we want something to hold on to. Our ancestors, because they were going through so much at the time, and they didn't have the distractions that we have now. They didn't have a way to look things up and authenticate things the way we do now. See, they still had a veil. over their eyes. They weren't seeing clearly. They couldn't. The veil has been lifted. And some of y'all still blind. Y'all still out here blind. The veil has been lifted. Anything you want to know, Google, research. You can find anything. You don't have to take stuff at face value anymore, like our ancestors did. They had to just believe stuff that was told to them because there was no way to authenticate it. You don't have to do that. You don't. You can research. We can read. We're not like our ancestors. They was able to goop them because they couldn't read. That's how they got gooped. They couldn't read. They were illiterate. And not by choice, a lot of them. They were forced into those situations. We can read. You can go right to Google. Who wrote the Bible? Is the Bible real? Is Jesus black? Was Jesus a real person? Who was Jesus? It's so easy. It's so easy to find out whatever you want to find out now. We're living in a time that we can get any information we want, and you still won't do it. Some of y'all are still living like our ancestors did, and you don't have to. You don't have to live like they did. Because it's too much information out here. Okay, so this comes from another website, A History of the Bible and Who Wrote It and When. The origins of the Bible are still cloaked in mystery. When was it written? Who wrote it? How reliable is it as an historical record? BBC History Reveal magazine charts the evolution of arguably the most influential book of all time. In 2007, Time magazine asserted that the Bible has done more to shape literature, history, entertainment, and culture than any book ever written. It's a bold claim, but one that's hard to refute. What other book resides on bedside tables in countless hotel rooms across the globe? What other book has bequeathed the world such instantly recognizable catchphrases as an eye for an eye, thou shalt not kill, and eat, drink, and be merry? Factor in the number of copies that have been sold down the centuries, somewhere in the region of 5 billion today, swollen by a further 100 million every year, given away free, and there's no denying that the Bible's influence on Western civilization has been monumental. When does it talk about who wrote it, though? Okay, who wrote the Bible? Until the 17th century, received opinion had it that the first 5 books of the Bible, Genesis Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy were the work of one author, and that's Moses. That theory has since been seriously challenged. Scholars now believe that the stories that would become the Bible were disseminated by word of mouth across the centuries in the form of oral tales and poetry, perhaps as a means of forgiving a collective idea among the tribes of Israel. Eventually, these stories were collected and written down. The question is by whom and when? A clue may lie in a limestone boulder discovered embedded in a stone wall in the town of Tel Ziyadi, 35 miles southwest of Jerusalem in 2005. Now, growing up, I was told that the Bible was written by Jesus. This is how the whole thing started for me. The Bible was written by Jesus. Then, as I got a little bit older, they were saying, oh, okay, well, the red text in the Bible is the part that Jesus wrote. So the only red text in the Bible is in the New Testament. There's no red text in the Old Testament because Jesus hadn't been born yet. So who wrote all the rest of that? And who wrote all the words around the red text? Because it's not really a whole lot of stuff in there that Jesus wrote. So around 12 or 13 years old, in my mind, I was saying, well, who wrote the rest of it? And then, people start saying, oh, well, it was wrote by God. God told holy men, and then they wrote it. Okay, so we getting a like secondhand story, like it came from God, then it went to somebody. Like we played that game telephone when we was a kid. So one person started off and say something, whisper something in somebody's ear, and then they whispered to the next person, whisper, whisper, whisper. And by the time you get to the last person, it's like a totally different story. Is that what this is? That's what we doing? Because if it's a he say, she say, he say, but it wasn't no she say because they didn't let women do nothing. So it's a he say, well, God told me, oh, okay, well, he told you, and so I'm going to tell him, and then, because see, they couldn't even, all of them couldn't even write back then. So, okay, well, we need to get all this together to somebody that can write so they can write it down. And then, oh, well, this sounds kind of boring. Can we get some poets in here? So they can add to it. And then we get a poet to come in and write the Psalms and Songs of Solomon and all of that to make it sound good. Because you can tell that certain books of the Bible were written by different people because the style is totally different. Psalms is different. The Songs of Solomon is different than the rest of the Bible. So it's like they took a whole lot of stories from a lot of different people and, put them in a book together. It's like I write a book. I write 4 chapters. Then y'all come in. Hey, I'm going to need some ghostwriters to write a couple of chapters for me. But, I'm not going to say who you are. It's going to be my book. I ain't even going to mention you. But you put your 2 cents in, and then, bam, it's the Bible. Give it away. Preach it. put it in hotels because we want everybody to see it. We want everybody to use this. And we still doing it. Still using it. I love me some what's that? Baja Blast. That's the only thing I'll drink from Taco Bell. I love me some Baja Blast. Okay. But I'm drinking that, and every time I drink that, I have to have my water too because it's so sweet. So yeah, anybody that can read can quote scripture. The devil knew the Bible. He got tired of what was going on. It was like, you know what? I am sick and tired of this. Let me go down here to earth and see what these people doing. I was like, heaven got so boring that the devil wanted to leave. Heaven got so boring. Like it was so boring up there that Lucifer and the rest of the angels was like, you know what? I literally cannot take this anymore. I'm going to go down to earth because they having fun. When I heard that the devil left, I was like, well, it must not be as popping as they say. If he left to come down here to get it cranking on earth, like, do I really want to go there? I mean, maybe I'm looking at it wrong, but I always thought that was kind of strange. Like, Jesus, I'm out. Yeah, it is. Y'all up here playing harps and all day long. That would drive me crazy too. Let me go to earth so I can get it cranking. She said, I will tell you one good lie in the New Testament, Luke 26 and 27. Let me look at it and see. Luke 26, chapter 28th verse. Wait a minute. Luke, the 6th chapter. Okay. Luke, the 6th chapter, the 28th verse.
According to MIT, blessed are you who weep now, for you will laugh. Blessed are you when men hate you, when they exclude you and insult you and reject your name as evil because of the Son of Man. Rejoice in that day and leap for joy, because great is your reward in heaven.
Blessed are you who hunger now, for you will be satisfied. Blessed are you who weep now, for you will laugh. Blessed are you when men hate you, when they exclude you and insult you and reject your name as evil because of the Son of Man. Rejoice in that day and leap for joy, because great is your reward in heaven. Don't worry about getting kicked and slapped and punched and stepped on here, because your reward is in heaven. This is exactly what they have always told the slaves. This was a classic, other than slave, obey your master. This is one of the classic things. Don't worry about how bad you're getting treated now, because you're going to heaven. So we going to kick you and punch you and slap you also upside your face and make you work from sun up to sundown, dripping sweat in that hot sun. Don't worry about that, because great is your reward in heaven. Great is your reward. That's always been the theme for the slave. Your reward is in heaven. You don't worry about the fact that you're not getting nothing here. Your reward is in heaven. Great is your reward. in heaven. The trials and tribulations that you endure here, don't worry about that. We gonna spit on you. We gonna make you enter the back of stores. We're not going to allow you to get married. You will not have any rights. We will disrupt your family. We will take your babies from you. But great is your reward in heaven. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about the fact that your child can be snatched from you and lynched if you even look at a white woman. Don't worry about that. Great is your reward in heaven. You know, I did not know that. I knew Black Wall Street. I had, heard the story of Black Wall Street. And, I knew what happened, but I didn't know how it started. Black Wall Street, this whole thing started because a young Black man decided to go into a building to use the bathroom. And he got on an elevator with a white woman. Well, he got on the elevator first, and she got on the elevator with him. He should have gotten off, but he didn't. The elevator, jolted, and she screamed. And when the elevator door opened, he was so scared that he ran. And they caught him because they said that he obviously had did something to this white woman. Even after she told them that he didn't touch her, he didn't do anything, they arrested him. They took him to jail. And instead of, him being able to have due process, the white men came and took him. I think they hung him, but they came and got him, and then they went to the area of Tulsa that was Black Wall Street and killed 300 Black people that had nothing whatsoever to do with this situation. Didn't even know what was going on. Had no idea that had even happened. Killed them and burned all of their businesses and homes to the ground. And there are people who are, witnesses who are still alive. They were very young when this situation happened. They said that there were airplanes flying overhead and dropping fire on the homes from above. And Black people were fleeing the area, running for their lives. Now, you didn't want the Black people to live in the area with you. So these Black people had decided to build their own community where they had, very established building businesses, jewelers, bank. I think they had a bank, theater, everything Black. So that we didn't have to deal with y'all. You didn't want us messing with you. So we built our own stuff. And when you saw that we were too comfortable and prospering in that, you come burn that down. No, burn all that down. No, you ain't. So is Black Wall Street was one of those damned if you do, damned if you don't type situations. Read, people. Read. Please research. Look into Black Wall Street. There are people that are still alive that are telling their stories on YouTube. All you have to do is type in Black Wall Street and it will come up. Survivors, documentaries, everything. This is what they will not teach you in school. I had never heard of this in school. They're not going to teach you that in school because they don't even want to remember that. And these are the people that pushed Christianity. These was the Christians. These was the Christians out here killing all these folks. And I bet you after they did that, after they killed all them people and burnt their houses down and businesses down to the ground, they sat in church that next Sunday and listened to the sermon like they ain't did nothing. Them the Christians. And you think that I won't go to a legua and tell him to tie your whole neck in a knot? You think I won't get mad and talk to my Orishas about you? You went to Jesus and killed my family members. I don't know if I had any family in Tulsa at the time, but I'm assuming I did. We related by what? 6 degrees of separation? Is it 6 or 9? I think it's 6. Somebody that somebody know was there when that happened. Them was the Christians that did that. Just like the Ku Klux Klan is the Christians. Who you think the Christians is? Them the Christians. The Ku Klux Klan. That's why they put the sheets and stuff. Christians. That's why they put the sheets and stuff over their head, because they didn't want you to see that they was the elders and the deacons and the they didn't care if they saw that you was the sheriff or the police. They didn't care about that. But they didn't want you to see that they were the elders and the deacons of the church. There go Deacon Johnson. No, they didn't want you to see that. That's why they put those sheets and stuff on. Because them was the ministers and deacons and elders of the church doing the most dirt. And we are supposed to look at Christianity now and receive it with open arms once we learn the truth. No. Can't do it. Now I could do it when I ain't know no better. When I ain't know no better and I didn't, I was too young to do research and I was under my mama and, my mama was on that Jesus and that's enough. All right. If it's enough for you, then it's enough for me. But when you get older and you go to college and you start, taking these college courses and you start reading and you like, who wrote it? It's different. It's different. What's the difference in your ancestors settling in the UK? The UK out there, y'all out here calling us wankers and all kind of stuff too. The UK got problems with black people too. I seen them on there fighting the police because they was mad because people was doing Black Lives Matter rallies. So y'all ain't no better than the US. It ain't no better over there. It's bad for black people everywhere. But we can't go nowhere and get respect. We go to China. They over there disrespecting us. I seen the white folks in the UK acting a fool. So it's, yeah, some of you are, but I'm saying that it's no better in the UK for black people than it is here in America. It's no different. No matter where we go, we gonna be black. We go to the UK, we gonna be black. The UK has slanderous names. China got slanderous names. The US, every country we go to. By the time we get to the moon, by the time we get there, the aliens gonna be talking about black. Oh, here they come. Here they come. Damn, they coming up here too. You know, I think sometimes you just don't realize how insensitive you are because you feel like, oh, I'm an ally. Black Lives Matter. But y'all talking shit too. We ain't safe nowhere. 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 You know, even when I think people are an ally, you would think that ministers, we gonna take it back. You would think that ministers, because they are preaching the love of Christ, would be our main ally. But here go the minister talking about slavery was a blessing. We ain't got no allies. Everywhere has a derogatory, negative term for black people. The UK, Britain. Look how they did. What's the chick name? The princess. Look how they did her. She back here in the US. She couldn't even be happy. And she mixed. She racially ambiguous. But because they know her mama black, they treated her like shit. She hit Megan. She living here in LA with her husband and baby. She couldn't even be happy. So don't tell me that we have allies in other countries, because we don't. We don't have no allies. We don't. At this point, we don't trust nobody. I don't trust none of y'all. And I'm going to keep that 100. I don't. So I ain't got no allies. Just like the US feel like they don't have no allies in Russia and what's these other countries, Turkey, Israel, all these other places. Black people don't have no allies in other countries. We trying to make allies in America. What the Bible say, charity begins at home and spreads abroad. And when they talk about charity, they talking about love. So we got to figure out a way to make the people that we live with love us before we expect anybody else to love us. So I don't have no allies in the UK. I'm not looking for you to love me. Now, if that's too much for you, I'm sorry, but right now I'm not walking on eggshells with white people. Nobody. You don't walk on eggshells for my feelings. I ain't got no allies. None. The allies I have are the people that live with me, that share the same last name as me. Those are the people that I trust. I don't trust nobody else. And I sure ain't trusting nobody that's outside of this country. I don't know, y'all. You ain't no ally to me. Okay, I had to get that out. We gonna move on. Because this about to get ugly. And I don't want us to go in that direction. Should we take a break and bring in Gizmo? And he can bring some love to this, Because sometimes looking at dogs and petting dogs will bring down our blood pressure, make us feel better. Come here, Gizmo. Come here. Come here. You the praise break. Come here. We're going to use him as the praise break. You know how that's what they do in church. They start playing the music for the praise break, and everybody get all riled up and catch the Holy Ghost. We're going to use Gizmo so y'all can catch the Holy Ghost. And ain't he cute? Ain't he just the cutest thing in the world? This is my ally right here. This is my emotional support animal. He is my ally. I trust him before I trust any white person. I'm your ally. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter. You know what? Marius asks what her best course of action is. This your best course of action. You may have to look this up. So I'm not sure what college this happened at. And a white woman walked up to Malcolm X, and he had did a speech, and she came up. Here she come. What can I do to help? How can I help your cause? And he basically told her, you can't. You can't do nothing for me. Nothing. Until we can get America straight and get our own people together, there's nothing you can do. And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just real. You can't help me. You can't. We got to get home together first. Okay? That old saying, clean up your own, round your own front door before you try to tell somebody else what's going on. So we trying to get America together. So you can't help me do nothing. Nothing. I don't want your help. Now, if you want to support the channel and you want to, come and sit and watch, it's good. But you can't do nothing for me. Not a thing. And at this point, I do feel like you are being condescending I really do. I really do. And I don't know if you're doing that on purpose or it's just who you are. But it's kind of starting to get on my nerves. And I would hate to block you. So let's just let it go. Let's move on. Let's just go do something else. Moth Mama said, "Get out the way, because these ain't the bullets you want. You don't want this. You don't. You don't want this because see, you're pushing me to give you something that you probably don't deserve, but you keep poking, and you're going to eventually get it. So I'm just asking you to just leave it alone. If you enjoy the content, just enjoy the content. Don't do that. Yeah, let that go. Because right now is not the time to I'm with you. You know, I'm so it's not this it's not the time for that. You have no idea what we're going through. None whatsoever. You have no idea the level of pain that we are enduring right now. And it's so easy to set us off. So let that go. Phoenix said, "We're all in a state of grief, and it's incredibly self centered to pull on any of us. You have to take the time to learn on your own and put your feet on the ground in the UK. You don't have no idea what's going on here in America. So, um, let it go. Just leave it alone." And I'm trying, I'm trying so hard to, to keep it classy. Now, you had tried this last week, you probably would have got cussed out. But I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna be real nice. So that's that, you guys. Um, look into the writers, the authors of the Bible. Don't even go under what I say. You know what I mean? Don't even take my word for fact. Research it for yourself. Look it up for yourself to see who wrote the Bible, who are the authors, who was where does the image of Jesus come from? Look it up for yourself. It's so simple. I'm pretty sure there are a cajillion videos. Can I spell? That must not have been my husband. That was in the truck. Okay, so the image of Jesus, painted in the 6th century AD, it is the earliest known image of Christ found in Israel and portrays him with shorter curly hair in depiction that was common in the Eastern religion of the blah 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 empire, especially in Egypt and Syria and Palestine, but disappeared later Byzantine art. Let's see. Because there are articles that say, Okay, it says, where did the popular image of Jesus come from? Which is the blonde-haired, blue-eyed Jesus. It says, no one knows exactly what Jesus looked like. So why is he so commonly depicted as a pale, long-haired white man? What is the origin of the common picture of Jesus? It is the face known around the world, though it sometimes appears with different shades of skin. The general characteristics are consistent: long hair, a beard, and a slender and somber face. This face is portrayed through paintings, sculpture, crucifixes, and movies. It is the face immediately recognized as Jesus Christ. But as we show in our article, what did and didn't Jesus look like? The Bible reveals very little about what Jesus looked like, and what it does reveal contradicts the popular image you may have in your mind, an image that has been planted there by artists and filmmakers. Instead of having long hair, Jesus would have had short hair. Instead of having pale skin, he would have had a tan complexion. Instead of being thin and fragile, he would have been masculine and strong. But if this common depiction was not derived from Scripture, where did the popular image of Jesus come from? Why do artists, sculptors, and film producers consistently... I feel like something crawling on me. God dang it. Consistently portray Jesus with these features? Did the early Christian church have images of Jesus? The people closest to Jesus left no artistic descriptions of his appearance. This wasn't just an oversight because they were busy. The New Testament is very deliberate in recording the most vital details about Jesus' life, but notably, there are few about his appearance. Nowhere do we find an artistic image of him drawn by one of his contemporaries. Why are there no paintings or drawings of Jesus that date back to his era? Simply put, the early Christians understood that while Jesus was ordinary in appearance, so he wasn't fine, he wasn't an ordinary man. He was God in flesh. Since they faithfully obeyed the Ten Commandments, they applied the second commandment to Jesus. Jesus Christ was God and should not be represented through image. So, this is telling you that the pictures that we have are just that. So, how images of Jesus crept into Christianity? Many changes occurred to Christianity after the end of the New Testament era. After the death of the original apostles, a small group of faithful Christians continued, but much of Christianity gradually began to evolve into a religion that bore little resemblance to the church described in the book of Acts. The earliest images that have been uncovered supposedly portraying Jesus have been dated to around AD 240 to 246. Obviously, these artists who lived 200 years after Christ's ascension to heaven had never seen him or known any of his contemporaries. So 200 years after the death of Christ. So it wasn't until after Constantine, which was 272 to 337, that detailed artistic representations of Jesus began to be found in churches. So, in other words, after this time, there was resistance to artistic portrayals of Jesus. But after Constantine accepted Christianity and started remaking it in the Roman image. The Greco-Roman customs of worshiping deities through statues and images became synchronized into Christianity. Where did the face of Jesus image come from? After AD 400, images of Jesus began to be found all over churches, catacombs, and even on the vestments of priests. Since the artists had no knowledge of Jesus' real appearance, they developed their own images of Jesus with features that continue to influence art to this day. Yeah, did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear any of that? So, the pictures that we have of Jesus are just artists' renditions. What they wanted him to look like. What they thought he should look like. How they wanted to portray him. Slender, pale, bearded, long-haired Jesus. That's how they wanted him to look. Y'all understand that? That it's a artist rendition. So all this time going to church in the Baptist church, believing that I'm looking at the Son of God and I'm looking at an artist rendition because no one knows what he looks like. Let's make him white, thin, pale, with long hair. Sounds good to me, Charlie. Color folks buy anything. They ain't gonna question it. All right, then. But plot twist, when I show you a picture of a Legua or Oshun, don't you look at them demons. You gonna go to hell. Don't you look at them demons. Don't you look at them false gods. Demons gonna take you to hell. And you don't know who you looking at. You looking at a compilation, computation, conversation, some whatever word. That's when you mix a whole bunch of things up together of a whole bunch of different people. You don't know who you looking at. So you can take this white man that you don't, it could be anybody. That could be Joe Blow for all we know. And you a compilation. Thank you. That's why I got y'all. That's exactly why I love y'all. Because y'all got my back. She knew what I was trying to say. Compilation. You can look at Joe Blow and call him Jesus. But when I put Yemaya up here, you demonic Satan worshiper, I done had Christians call me so many things since I've been on YouTube. Y'all don't see half of the comments that I delete. from some of these crazy Christians. I delete them because I don't even want them up there. So I delete them. And then I have certain buzzwords that if you say certain words, they're not gonna come up anyway. So half the time the Christians be out here just writing a whole thesis about how I'm going to hell and I'm a burn in hellfire and all that, and those comments never even see. And they be writing too. Like they be out here writing whole novels in the comment section, and no one will see them but me. And then I just delete them. And the ones that slip by and be, you going to hell, the devil this and that, and the devil is a lie, and you blah, blah, blah. I delete those. I delete those too. Y'all better start reading. Y'all better start reading. Because I know I'm not the only person that reads. And I think, we started this year. When I started this year, I said 2020 is the year of vision. Okay. So the people that have been walking around with a veil over their eyes, the veil is being lifted. Because there are some people that still have a veil. The veil is still over some people's, eyes. The veil is being lifted. And when the veil is lifted, do something with that. Research, read, find out what your ancestors were doing. Where are you from? Where you from kind of determines what your ancestors were doing. Are you from the South? Are you from Louisiana, Florida, Texas, Tennessee? Are you from the southern states? A lot of people in the southern states had family that did a hoodoo or something. Them Louisiana folks, mostly all of them did. If they didn't do it, they knew somebody that did it. You had somebody in your family that did something. If you from Louisiana, my people are from Louisiana. My family is part Creole. We from Louisiana. My mother knew people that did stuff. Find out where you're from. What did your people do? Don't be scared to ask your grandma, did you ever hear of anybody like doing stuff in the woods? When you ask your grandma, she'll tell you too. Grandma will tell you. My grandkids know me. They know. My grandma will put you in a pot. My grandkids will tell you. My grandma is with the shit. They'll tell you that in a minute. Ask your grandma. Grandma, tell me who in this family, tell me who with it, Grandma. Ask her. I bet you she'll tell you. Find out who you are. Don't be scared to find out who you are. It's time for us now to find out who we are. Because, see, we can't use the white man's religion against him. That's like playing football. You can't use my playbook against me because I already know the plays. I wrote them. Who you think wrote those plays? I did. And if you steal my playbook, I'm going to just switch it up on you. So we can't use his religion against him. We got to call on our own ancestors. We got to call on the four winds. We have to call Oya. We have to call Shango. We have to call Obatala. I can't break into a store and expect to be able to steal the store owner's gun to use it against him. I got to come in strapped. Oh, yeah, I'm going to break in that store. No, I'm going to go empty-handed. No, because when I get there, I'm going to take everything I need from the person that's already there. What sense do that make? That's not how we get down. Flip the script on them. Flip the script. Don't catch the Holy Ghost. Come in there doing a dance for Omooshun. What? Come in there, Orisha down, white from head to toe. Twirl in there on them. Twirl on them. You got to flip the script. We can't use what we've been using. No, we can't use the Psalms. They're expecting that. That's what they expect us to use. We're not using that no more. Because, see, that's what they expect. You don't give the enemy what they expect. You got to switch it up. We got to flip the script. They expect you to come with songs. They expect you to come turn the other cheek. They expect you to come, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. They expect you to come with that. That's what they're expecting. It's time out for that. You got to flip the script. They gave you a playbook. Throw that away. That ain't working. That's no longer working. It's not working for us. We gotta use something different. They gave us, we came here and they gave us a water gun. Here, you take this. And they out here with bazookas and stuff. They out here with Winchester rifles. And they didn't gave us a bucket of water. The fuck? No. We can't use that no more. There's no power in that. It's not enough power in that. That's what they're expecting us to do. Fight with what they gave us. Those days are over. Now, if you want to use that, go right ahead. While you out there throwing the Psalms together. I'll be out here going to the cemetery talking to old Yah. We got to do something different because the old ways are no longer working. We got to revert back to the beginning. And I think, now going back to what that card, what is that? New solutions and beginnings. New. Not all. New. We on that new shit. New solutions and beginnings. Let me take a picture of that. I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna post it on the community wall so you guys can see it. What time is it? I guess my husband coming today. It's already 8 o'clock. It's kind of late. Okay. Interesting. New. We can't deal with the stuff that we can't use that against them. That's their tool. As their concepts, their lies, their deceit. So we have to do something else. Thank you, Phyllis, too. Phyllis said, I have learned to move in silence. So have I. That is why I'm really glad that the people that are members, that we can do whatever we're going to do on a more private platform. Because some things are not for everybody. Why give the enemy your secrets? You know how I've always felt that there are some things that you keep to yourself. You don't share everything with everybody. It's never a wise thing to jump on the majority ship versus using wisdom and hearing from spirit, not to move immaturely. Just out here running wild. You have to hear from spirit. And in order to hear from spirit, you have to get somewhere and be quiet and get away from the distractions. And stop believing all the lies. Because there's a lot of them out there. And we do have to understand that a lot of the stuff that we believed as kids is fake news. There's no truth in that. They have always been deceivers and liars. And unfortunately, we have believed them. Because we didn't know any better. And I don't fault our ancestors for believing them, because they had no way of challenging what they were taught. I fault us now, this generation, the generation that has more knowledge, and information at our fingertips, I fault this generation for still believing the lies. That's who I fault. I don't fault our ancestors because they did the best with what they had. They didn't know any better. But we do. And we still believe in this shit. And we got ministers out here saying that slavery was a blessing. And y'all still buying into Christianity. In 2020, we have Christian ministers still saying that slavery was a blessing. And y'all still going to churches, shouting. Oh no, Phyllis, did you go get checked out? Did you go to the doctor and let them at least look at you? Because don't play with that. Go and get it checked, okay? Make sure nothing is broken. Yeah, take you a Epsom salt bath, and make sure you take some anti-inflammatory. You going tomorrow? Okay. We'll take you a good bath and ice whatever area it was that is painful. Make sure you put some ice on that if you have swelling and stuff, because falling, that ain't no joke. Yeah, sweetie. Make sure you go and get that checked out. So I gave you guys something to think about and some things to research. If you don't believe everything I say, read it for yourself. There is too much information out there now for us to take anything at face value. But when I see a minister say that slavery was a blessing in 2020, it just shook my core. It really did. It shook my core because I couldn't even believe it. And I could believe what he said more than I could what the young man who was sitting there having a conversation with him, shaking his head, yeah, instead of just checking him right there on the air. That would have just been one of those situations that he wouldn't have forgot. He just wouldn't. So, y'all know people here in the Bay Area, we absolutely have no filter. So, a young man in Alameda, which is not too far from where I live now. So this is what he said. So I'm riding in Alameda going to get some food to eat. This racist ass old white woman yelled at me to go back to Oakland. So I let it go and keep going. The place where I was going to eat was closed today. So I'm riding back, and the same lady rides The same lady rides by the first time, gives me the finger after that. F this, and I don't give a F. I'm not taking this kind of poop from anybody. Stop letting these people feel comfortable doing this kind of. Listen to what he said to her.
It seems like you're racist because you see me run by and you tell a black person to go back to Oakland. So it's black people in Oakland, right? Ain't no black people in Alameda? There's more white people who live in Oakland. All right, then, well, get your dusty, wrinkle bag, trash face, having ass up out of here then. Don't tell no black person to go back to Oakland. You can't tell me where to go, all right? I'm going to go back to Oakland, right? Let me tell your dusty, dirty, dingy, mannequin built ass something. You don't tell me where the fuck to go. When you leave your house, you old stanky ass lady, you are in the world. So you don't tell me to go back to Oakland. You take your wrinkled pussy ass to Oakland. Get your funky mask ass to Oakland. You got a whole COVID-19 fit on with your dusty ass. You the reason why this shit is here. And you got hella senior citizen spit on your motherfucking sweater telling somebody to go to Oakland. I'm talking for a minute. Can you control your mouth?
Leave us alone. We can't even go get food. This young man minding his own business, trying to go get something to eat. Okay, the difference between Oakland and Alameda is it is more white folks in Alameda, but you can ride your bike. The only thing that separates Oakland from Alameda is a body of water. So you got to kind of go over this bridge because the body of water separates Oakland from Alameda. But it's only like the bridge is only like about a 5-minute bike ride or less. So from Oakland to Alameda is nowhere. So we can't leave Oakland. Oakland is a melting pot. It is white, Hispanic, Asian, Indonesian, African. Oakland is a melting pot of people. So is Alameda is too. We everywhere. So she see this black man riding into Alameda. And she had to, she just had to go back to Oakland. That's like go back to Africa. But honey, the way he did her, he didn't even give, but that's how we are here though. These Oakland, I don't even know why she even messed with him when she knew he was from Oakland. Because these Oakland dudes they will cuss you out in a minute. And we will too, the women. He wore her out. She couldn't say nothing. Like she couldn't even get it. She asked him, can you be quiet so I can get a word? No, I'm not. She couldn't even get a word in edgewise. So he couldn't even ride his bike to get something to eat because he going through your white neighborhood to get something to eat. Go back to Oakland. Well, what if I want to eat something that's in Alameda? Because we don't have an In-N-Out. Do we have an In-N-Out? Oh no, we have one in San Leandro. They don't have one in Oakland. So what if he wanted to go to Chipotle? Chipotle in Alameda. They probably have a Chipotle in Oakland, but it's probably like in like the downtown area. It's a whole lot of places in Alameda that we don't have in Oakland. We used to go grocery shopping. When we would go to Chipotle, 9 times out of 10, it would be in Alameda because it was the closest. So we can't even eat in your area. Go back to Oakland. She may as well have said, take your black ass back to Oakland. That's probably what she wanted to say, but she probably, her ancestors probably said, if you say that, he gonna knock your head off. Don't say that. Don't say that. Just say go back to Oakland. Don't say take your black ass back to Oakland, because he's gonna knock your head off. We can't even eat. Well, she ain't our elder, though. She ain't one of our elders. Because if she had been one of our elders, she'd have kept her mouth shut. She wouldn't have been saying, go back to Oakland. That's like, go back to Africa. Why are you even here? Our elders wouldn't say that. So we don't have to respect her. That's not our elder. That's a racist. Classic racist. East Oakland dudes don't be playing. She knew he was from Oakland. You don't mess with people from West Oakland, the guys from West Oakland, and you don't mess with these East Oakland dudes. Now, North Oakland, they kind of got, they're a little bit more classy. But East Oakland and West Oakland, leave them alone. Becky. He wore her out. So y'all probably see that video because it is going viral on Instagram. And everybody laughing. And they should. I just don't understand why y'all can't just leave us alone. Leave us alone. Go back to Europe. Go back to the caves. Ain't that where y'all came from? The Caucasus Mountains, or wherever y'all Caucasians go back there. That's what you do. When you want to tell us to go back somewhere, you go back first. Go back to... You know what I can't stand is, why y'all got to put filters when y'all take pictures and stuff? Why y'all got to put filters on babies? Like, the babies we can't even see what the baby look like naturally. Y'all have to put filters on a newborn baby. So I guess Hazel, was she on Love and Hip Hop? Hazel E had her baby today. And she got a filter on the baby. Y'all make me sick. Y'all make me sick. Because you hate yourself so much that you don't even like the way your babies look when they come out. You don't even want to look at them. Like, I know you don't want to look at yourself. You put a filter on yourself when you post your pictures on Instagram or whatever. Like, I was mad yesterday because I felt like my eyes was, I did my makeup all cute. And then I looked at, like, everybody else's makeup pictures. And I'm like, what filter are they using? Because no one's skin looks that smooth and perfect, and like, they take the pores off and everything. Yeah, but this lady, she was probably retired. I'm pretty sure. Well, I'm not going to say that. They'll figure out who she is, because you know how the internet is. They will find you in a New York minute. And then before you know it, you done lost your job. Your husband have to come on and say, "Oh, my wife is crazy." Like that woman that got the shit slapped out of her in the convenience store. Her husband had to come online the next day, and he was like, "Oh, my wife is mentally ill." No, she ain't mentally ill. She ain't mentally ill. Your wife ain't mentally ill. She meant everything she said, like telling that Hispanic girl to um go back to her country or something. Something she was saying to the girl slapped her. And then her husband, the white lady that got slapped, her husband issued a statement and was like, "Oh, my wife is bipolar and she was off her medicines." No, she wasn't. No, she was not. She meant that. Ain't nothing wrong with that woman. She just racist. Because once you do something like that, they gonna get you. They gonna find out who you are. They gonna blast you all over social media. The Twitter people gonna get you because Twitter don't play with nobody. The Twitter people gonna get you, and then you're gonna get threats. You're gonna lose your job. They're gonna call your company. They're gonna tell your company how racist you are, and then you in a world of trouble when you could have just kept your mouth shut. Leave these people alone. Girl, she slapped fire. She slapped that woman so hard, the woman forgot all about the conversation, turned around and was like, "Oh my, look at the time." Walked out that convenience store. She was like, "Oh God, she slapped me." Oh, oh. You know how white people get when they can't believe that they didn't got the shit slapped out of them. Ah, she slapped me. She got her little, "Get the hell out of here." Walked out that convenience store. She probably got in that car and told Harold, "Harold, that woman just slapped my whole face." And Harold probably was like, "Let's get out of here. Cause see, you on that bullshit. Let's go on." And by the time Harold got home, honey, they had posted that on social media, and Polo Harold, he was like, "Lord." Honey, she didn't, because when I saw her get slapped like that, I clutched my pearls. I was like, "Oh Lord," I'd have clutched all my crystals. I was like, "Woo." She slapped the shit out of her. I would, somebody slapped me that hard, I'm just gonna hit the floor. I'm gonna just fall out. I'm gonna make it worth it. They're gonna have to call an ambulance. Because I'm not going to be able to get, they're going to be like, "Ma'am, she just slapped you." Okay, but she slapped and paralyzed me. Just fall out. I can't get up. "Get up, ma'am." "I can't. I'm paralyzed." You're just going to slap me like that and I'm going to just walk away. Either that or we just going to tear up this whole convenience store. I'm just not going to let you just slap me like that. And I just walk away like, after you done did all that talking, the girl slapped you and you ain't paint her or nothing? You ain't do nothing? Huh? Becky, you just walked away? Just, "Oh shit, let me get my fucking..." Oh my God, she probably slapped her into confusion. She did. This younger generation, y'all gotta leave these people alone. I don't talk to none of these kids. If I ain't birth you in the world and you don't share the same last name as me, I don't talk to y'all. I don't. The only way I talk to these crazy kids is online. Because this new generation, y'all out here smoking, y'all smoking everything. Y'all out here smoking antifreeze and white woman tears. I mean, the names of weed now is so crazy. Y'all smoking all kind of stuff. I don't mess with none of y'all. Y'all smoke white girls and dandelions and sunflowers. She did. She deserved every bit of that hand to face contact. Every bit of it. Every bit of it. She deserved. Because she pushed the girl. After she said all that, go back to Mexico and all this kind of stuff, she pushed the girl. And once she see, the girl was cool. And she was like, you know, blah, blah, rah, rah. And the girl wasn't going to do nothing. But when that woman pushed her, that was it. That was it. These kids don't. This younger generation don't give a F. She tried to slap her into 2021. She slapped her so hard, it was almost space travel. She slapped her into a time continuum. She slapped her into a loop. Like, that woman probably is still dreaming about that slap. Like, just over and over again, she just keep getting slapped. She slapped her into a time loop. They don't care. Now, I wouldn't even, because I know how ignorant they are, so I would have just ignored her, because if it had been me, I probably would have went to jail. That is always my prayer, though, that don't no white person ever put their hands on me or any of my grandkids when I'm out in public. Because that did happen to me one time, and I didn't realize how angry I would get. Me and my granddaughter, where was my husband? I think my husband was parking the car, and he had dropped us off. Oh, we were waiting for the shuttle to take us to Disneyland. And my husband was like, y'all, go on over there and get under the little thing, because it was hot. The little bus thing. It's like, y'all go and get under there, because he was going to go into the hotel and ask them, what time did the shuttle come? And were we at the right place to get the shuttle to go to Disneyland? Because we were staying at another hotel, and the hotel had said, oh, well, we partner with the hotel up the street. The shuttle picks up everybody there. So we were trying to make sure we were at the right place. So my husband said, stand up under that thing, because it was hot. So at the time, my granddaughter was 5 years old. And so we're standing there, and it was a white couple in there. And, the white lady was like, oh, you going to Disneyland? And, my granddaughter, she always been friendly. She was like, yeah, it's my granny's birthday. So, we going to Disneyland. And so the white lady was like, oh, that's your granddaughter? She's so beautiful. I was like, oh, thank you. And before I could react, this woman touched my granddaughter's hair. Like, oh, her hair is so pretty. And my mind snapped. I didn't even know that rage could come up in me that fast. My whole entire mind snapped. And I put my granddaughter behind me. I was like, the fuck you touch her for? Don't you ever touch nobody. The fuck wrong with you? The The look on her face was like, oh my God, I didn't mean anything. You know, she went into this, I didn't mean anything. I didn't mean it. I don't give a fuck what you meant. Oh God, I lost my mind. I lost my ever loving mind. And then, you know, grabbing my granddaughter's hair, like wiping her off and stuff. You ever touch nobody? Honey, I bet you she will never forget that. I just got so angry. So angry. For one, then I was angry with myself that I was not the barrier between, you know, like my granddaughter was just standing next, you know, she was standing next to me, but she was standing close enough for this woman to touch her. Then I got angry with myself, like, God, dog, yo, parents didn't trusted me with you 6 hours away from home, and I let some crazy white woman touch you. Oh, I was so mad. So mad. But that was a lesson for me, you know, to keep her closer. When I take my grandkids out anywhere, you know, I be on them like a hawk. No one will ever get that kind of opportunity again. I mean, I went from 0 to 1,000. Even my granddaughter was like, don't you touch me. Don't you touch me, because my granny will go off. Don't nobody touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch my hair. Don't touch my aura. Don't touch nothing. Granddaughter was like, Granny got mad. When my husband, Granny got mad because that lady touched me. And my husband was like, well, I was like, okay, come on, let's not, because you big black man, she'll call the police. I'll tell you about it later. It's okay. I took care of it. Because, you know, you definitely can't touch her. You don't want big black man. That you don't want that. That you don't want. Big black woman is enough. But big black 6 foot black man, you don't want them problems. Don't touch. Don't touch. White people, yes, black children are beautiful, but don't touch them. Just admire their beauty from afar. Okay, don't touch them. That's how you get hurt. Putting your hands on other people's children. Just, oh, her hair is beautiful. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, big black woman is enough. But 6 foot big black man, you don't want that. Them are the problems you don't want. So yeah, I had a very serious issue. So I know how I can get with. So that's my prayer. To please don't let me get into a confrontation with a white person, because I already got too much pent up, unresolved issues. And I would hate for them to come out on one person and they really get more than what they deserve, because they will. Yeah, just say my hair is beautiful and keep going. Because I have had people ask me, like when my hair was super duper long, like, when it was down to my butt long, and I would go in places. Like I have had people ask me, is all that your hair? Yeah, can I touch it? No. But at least they had the decency to ask, "Mm, can you touch it?" No. I mean, I still have people admire my hair. Oh, your hair is so beautiful. Thank you. I mean, it's very rare even now that, and my hair is not even as long as it was. But I mean, my hair does get a lot of attention. It's a interesting, you know, it's interesting. It's still kind of long. It's not as long as it was, but it is growing back. So I think I'm gonna cut it again. But I still do, get attention when I wear my hair down. But no, don't touch it. It can be gleaming with gold and diamonds, but still don't touch it. Okay, white people, I know. White people, I know that we're beautiful, and it's hard for you to believe that all this beauty comes naturally for us. I know it is. I know it's hard for you to look at these full lips and believe that we got these naturally, and there's no fillers and plumpers and all of that stuff. I know it's hard. Okay, there's no fillers. 55 years. See that? 55 years and they're still plump. No, it's hard for you to believe. But still don't touch it. 55 years and there's no fillers. See that? See? It's natural. See that? That's what y'all trying to get. This, that little part right there. See that? Let me leave y'all alone before y'all get mad at me. I'm finna go, y'all. Ain't it popping, girl? Ain't it popping? The melanin is popping, girl. It's popping, girl. See that hair? See that crown? See that there? See that? See them natural naps? See that? You see that? Where is it? Right here? See that? That's real. That's that real stuff right there. See that right there? See that? That's real. That's that real stuff right there. Right there. That's real. Let you know it's coming out my scalp. No additives and preservatives, just melanin popping. It's popping, girl. It's popping. Yeah, I very rarely wear my hair down when I'm out. Very rare. I usually wear my hair. Well, for one thing, it's hot on the back of my neck. And y'all know I get hot real easy. You know what? I don't think that you know how older women used to tell us that we go through the change of life at a certain age. I don't think we go through it. It just, once you get to menopause stage and that heater gets turned on, I don't think it turns off. It just is what it is. You just you get to 40 or whatever stage, you go through menopause, and the rest of your life is menopause. That's just it. Because I'm supposed to be finished. I'm 55. I'm supposed to, I thought menopause, you go through it like in your 40s and early 50s and then it'll be over. Why mine ain't over yet? I'm still sweating and, oh God, hormones still be, acting cuckoo cuckoo. I don't think this ends. I think menopause is like, um, you go from puberty to adulthood, and then you have that whole span where you're fertile, and you having your cycle and all of that kind of stuff. You go through that for that long period, then you go into menopause, and you stay into menopause, I think, until you leave here. I don't think there's another stage. I think menopause is it, because it ain't leaving. It won't go away. The fire started, and you know my mama said, oh my God, don't tell me that, sweetheart. Yeah, I think that's what happens, because I had, okay, so I had a partial hysterectomy in my 40s. So with a partial, was I 40? Early 40s. Okay. So with a partial, you don't go right into menopause. So I didn't go into menopause until, late 40s or whatever, when I was supposed to. So I'm 55 and I'm still doing it. When is it gonna stop? Ever? No, I can't do anything because of my thyroid. I can't take any like supplemental things to help my hormones, because then that can throw off the way that your levothyroxine works. So so I just got to be out here acting crazy. Well, I'm not really crazy, you know. Like I'm not um it's not bad. It's just the sweaty part, the sleepy part, that some insomnia sometimes. The Sometimes I have night sweats and um that type of thing. So yes, sweetie, that's not it. That don't just, like, you don't just go into menopause when you turn like 48. You don't just go into menopause and then when you turn 50 it just magically goes away. No. Mm-mm. So just get prepared. you know, Whatever you're going through, however your body is going through now, because you're still fertile and, you're still having your cycle and all of that kind of stuff. Just get prepared that when you no longer have a cycle, your body is still going to have to adjust to not doing that. And it's going to act weird. I do. I just deal with it. If I sweat, I just sweat. If I get hot, in the middle of the night, well, when it was really really bad, when I was having night sweats real bad. Now it's unpredictable. It used to be like every night I would have to get up in the middle of the night, change my clothes, put on a fresh shirt or whatever. Now it's unpredictable. So you don't know, what nights you're going to have night sweats, and it's not as bad as it was, but it's still irritating. Yeah, see, you are lucky, Moth Mama, because my cycles got longer and longer. That was how I ended up having to have a hysterectomy, the cycles just kept getting worse and worse and heavier and longer and uglier and all that kind of stuff. So maybe yours, um, and we're all different. We're women, but we're all different. All of our bodies react differently. I'm just telling you how I react. Because believe it or not, a lot of our mothers didn't tell us what they were going through. They didn't tell us how it was to what it was like to go through menopause. Like all we heard about was, oh, you're gonna get hot and have hot flashes. But they didn't tell us anything else. They kept a lot of things secret from us. So it's time now that we start sharing with the women, start sharing with the younger generation, you know, and keep it real. Like don't sugarcoat it. It ain't gonna be all beautiful. You know, you're gonna have some bad days. You're gonna have days when you ain't gonna feel good. You're gonna be sweating all over the place. I mean, keep it real. And I don't know if they, didn't want to keep it real with us because, they felt like that was their way of protecting us. They, didn't want us to, maybe didn't want us to get scared. Sometimes you gotta scare, girl, this is what it really is. So, yes, it is very good to um, cover your hair when you're out. I mean, instead of 28 days, it's like every like 22 days. Like, okay, I see what you mean. That ain't no better either, though. Yeah, because it's getting closer together. Yeah, I do. I want my granddaughters to understand, not be afraid of their bodies, not be afraid of what's going on, and know, what's going to happen later on. Not to scare you, but to prepare you. But I'm going to tell you the truth. I ain't going to lie to you. I ain't going to sugarcoat it and tell you it's going to be all beautiful. That's like, you know, when it comes to childbirth, it don't make no sense to tell the kid that a stork bring the babies when they see mama's belly super big. Well, what she do? Swallow the baby? What? Tell these kids the truth. He sent you to school with no pads? Like my mama didn't even um well, for one, I was so young. Like she never thought that, it would come that early. So I really was not prepared for it. I wasn't prepared for that whole situation. I'm so glad that kids are different. It's more information. Like my granddaughter had her cousins, and, you know, she didn't feel alone like I did. Like I didn't have any sisters or anything. So I just felt alone. He made a joke about it. Wow. Yeah. That's yeah, maybe he didn't know how to deal with it. And you know how some people, that's how they deal with stuff, by laughing. Sometimes you gotta laugh in order to keep from crying. Maybe he didn't know. Because a lot of men, they understand what to do, what to tell them to get, and all that kind of stuff. You may not have known, and he just sent you on hoping that somebody else would help you. Seriously, we have to look at our past hurts and traumas and look at the people and say they did not have the knowledge and education that we have now. Sometimes they did things out of ignorance. And it wasn't just to really hurt us, but it was because they didn't know any better. Maybe he didn't know what to do. And he was like, girl, go to school, you ain't got that, gone. He didn't know what else to do. And we think, well, gosh, he couldn't ask somebody. He may not have been able to. Right, that too. He probably was shocked. You ain't no little girl no more. Then now this another thing I got to worry about. Now you a woman. I got to worry about somebody messing with you and touching you and stuff. Yeah, it's just too much for me to deal with. I don't want to deal with all that. Go to school, girl. Get on out of here. We look at the fact that, we look back on our parents and we think that they were mean and they were this and they were that, but our parents were tired. You look at the time that they lived in, they were not living in the best of times. They were tired. They were probably being abused in the workplace. They were working like mules and not getting paid. So, we really have to seriously take a look and I know it's hard, but when we got to forgive our parents, our guardians, before we can move on and forgive other people. Because I noticed that the majority of people that counsel with me have a lot of issues with their parents. A lot of their issues stem from their parents. And you have to heal that before you can move on and start working on your serious issues. So, think about what your dad was going through at the time, what was his educational level like. You got to take all of those things into consideration. And things like that, you just move on. In spite of what he did, I still became a beautiful person in spite of. Yeah, let God deal with that. Let God deal with it. So that's that, y'all. We done been on here for 2 hours. I guess my husband, he must be busy today because I know he ain't coming this late because he getting off work in like 3 hours. So he ain't come home today. I'm gonna call him and see what in the world. I'm gonna call him. See, during Facebook is tripping. I can't get none of my Facebook comments. Get you, Facebook. And I'm gonna go. I don't know what we're gonna talk about tomorrow, but we will find out. And I appreciate you guys for being here. I love you guys. If you need me, you got my email address. You can email me. Oh, I need to film the video about the eyelashes and stuff. Maybe I'll do that tonight and my husband can edit it. I still haven't got that nail off. So I just polished my nails with like this blue glitter polish and tried to just make it seem like that's an accent nail. But I can't get it off. I can't get off neither one of them. So I just got like 2 accent nails. The other ones came off. I don't know why these accent nails will not come off. Weird. So I'm gonna just wear these until they pop off. Yes, honey, my daughters and I have some deep conversations about womanhood, and we should. We should. Maybe we'll talk about that tomorrow. Conversations that we should have with our children. Maybe that will be a topic of conversation for tomorrow, because that's interesting. Because we should not only be talking to our daughters, we should be talking to our sons also. Okay, so I'll see you guys tomorrow. I love you guys so much. Sleep well. Don't forget to take your spiritual baths, or at least put the coconut water and pray over that and pour that over your head and rinse it off in the shower. Or you can actually sleep with a little bit of coconut water on your, I'm just giving you this little tidbit. You can actually sleep with a little bit of coconut water if you are having problems with anger. You can take a real coconut, okay? Or if you can get the coconut, the inside, the meat part, cut up a real coconut, okay? Coconuts only cost what? $1? Buy you a coconut, a real one, so you can get it fresh. Cut the coconut open, okay? Get the coconut water. Pour that on your head and take some of the shavings, the meat of the coconut. Put that on your head. Say a prayer. Wrap your head up. Leave that on there. Take the little, okay, so, the coconut meat is white. So take you some pieces of the coconut meat and put them on your head. Put them up there. And then take your scarf and tie that on your head so that they stay. And then go to sleep. Say your prayers and go to sleep. Get up at the next morning and take your little coconut out and take your shower. Okay? And allow that to cleanse and cool your spirit. I was blessed that I had Yemiya to come in and do mine in a dream. But you can do it in the natural. Okay? So that is a very easy spiritual cleanse that you can do yourself that is extremely cheap. You don't have to, if you have Florida water, you can use that. If you don't have it, you can't. If you want to just get fresh coconut water, use the fresh coconut water, the coconut milk, whatever. But I'm trying to keep it as natural and unrefined as possible. So there you go. I love you guys, and I will talk to you tomorrow. I love you. Bye.